Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Grade 9. Today in biology we will start chapter number 1, Introduction to Biology, and page number 3 of your textbook. Today we will know about the branches of biology. In previous lecture we studied what is biology, but today we will learn about basic branches. You can write down question number 4, that is what are the major branches of biology and studies these deal with. Okay, we will not only learn their names but also we will learn what we can study in these branches. If we are talking about the objective of branches of biology, because biology is also a subject which has very large or very diversified knowledge, so it is divided into different branches to study detailed aspects of life for the benefits of humankind. If we are talking about morphology, that means if we are talking about the first branch of biology, that is morphology. In morphology, we study the form and structure of living organisms. You can see this structure. For example, if we are talking about the morphology, that means we are talking about different forms and structure of living organisms. For example, you can see there are different type of leaves. Okay, different plants have different type of leaves, and if we study different type of leaves, that means we are studying about different type or forms of leaves and different type of structures of plant. ओके सिमिलर वे में हम डिफरेंट जो ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं उनके डिफरेंट जो पार्ट्स हैं उनके लिहाज से जो वो किस तरीके से उनकी बॉडी फॉर्म हुई हुई है, देन उनका किस तरह का स्ट्रक्चर है, इस सारी चीज़ को हम स्टडी करते हैं मॉर्फोलॉजी में. The second branch is anatomy. When we are talking anatomy, that means we are talking about the internal structure of living organism. For example, here is we have taken an example of human being and monkey, which has a similar type of structure of bones, but they have different vestigial part that human do not have, but monkey has, and different type of activities. That means when we are studying about their internal structure, we will study in under the heading of anatomy. The third branch is histology. Histology is the microscopic study of tissues. Here is a diagram in which we are studying the plant tissues, which we study under the microscope. Okay, and it shows what type of tissues perform what type of function. Then here comes cell biology. When we are talking about cell biology, that means we are talking about the structure and function of cell and also the cell organelles. And we also study cell division under this subject. For example, here is a cell. You can see in cell there are different type of organelles are present, and each organelle perform different type of function. And we study in detail in cell biology. Another branch of biology is physiology. When we are talking about physiology, under this heading we study the function of different parts of living organism. For example, if we are talking about plant has different type of parts. For example, root, shoot, leaves, flowers. These all parts have different type function. Okay, and we studied their functions in physiology. Here comes genetics. When we are talking about genetics, that means we study genes and their role in inheritance. When we are talking about gene, it is the central part of cell. In nucleus, we have a DNA that has genes or that perform different role in the inheritance. And if you are talking about what is inheritance, it is the transmission of characters from one generation to others. What it means, we take our information from our parents. Okay, when parents' information or parents' characters are transferred from parents to offspring, this is done under the heading of genetics. We study it in genetics. Embryology. When we are talking about embryology, that means we study the development of embryo to new individual. From the cell to individual formation is studied under the embryology. Next one is taxonomy. When we are talking about taxonomy, that means we study the naming and classification of organism into groups and subgroups. we know all of us speaks different languages, but in taxonomy we provide single name to any organism. Okay, for example, here is taken an example of human being that are known in scientific language Homo sapien. Okay, in science you will find human being as Homo sapien, as human have different type of name in different languages, but in science this has only Homo sapien that is studied under the name of taxonomy. Next one is paleontology. When we are talking about paleontology, that means we are studying fossils. Fossils are the remains of extinct organisms. Those organisms that were present once in the universe but now they are extinct or finished in this universe. We studied their study under the heading of paleontology. Here comes environmental biology. When we are talking about environmental biology, we will study interaction of organisms, all living organisms and their environment. For example, here if you are talking about grass, grass is present in the environment. It is a living organism, but it react with its environment, like decomposers decompose it or consumers eat it. Similar way, other organisms are also utilizing one another, or they are functioning in their environment. Next comes sociobiology. When we are talking about sociobiology, that means we study the social behavior of animals that make societies. Okay, different organisms make societies. Similar way, we taken here example of elephant, how they interact with each other. Okay, their behavior will be studied under social biology or sociobiology. Next one is parasitology. When we are talking about parasitology, that means we are studying parasites. And we are talking about parasites. Parasites are those organisms that take food and shelter from the host and harm them. For example, different type of organisms living inside of our body, human's body or other living organisms, and they get their food and shelter from host, but they also cause their diseases. Okay. Next one is biotechnology. Biotechnology is the study in which we practically use living organisms for the application of humankind. For example, here corn examples or other living materials are used that are used for the utilization of human or welfare of human for clarifying diseases or for food purposes and other purposes. We use them as using technology also. Okay. Immunology. When we are talking about immunology, that means we study the immune system of living organisms. Each living organism has its own immune system that defends its body against the microbes or other invading organisms. Okay, then it is studied under immunology or immune biology, you can say also. Next one is entomology. Entomology is the study of insects. As maybe you know it, insects are more than human beings, are more than any other living organisms. So, the study of insects is also very important for biology. So, we study in them separately in the form of entomology. Pharmacology. When we are talking about pharmacology, that means we are studying about the drugs or medicines and their effects on human body or human system. The last one is molecular biology. Molecular biology is the study of molecules of the life. That means water, proteins, lipid, carbohydrate, nucleic acids. These are all molecules that are present in living organisms, all type of the living organisms, and we study their structure, function, activities, how they form. Here is the example in which protein is formed, how protein is formed. So in molecular biology, we study their whole form of the molecules, how they form and how they perform their function in the living body. Thank you class for today's lecture. You have to write down and learn question number 4. Thank you. Allah Hafiz. Have a good day.